ReZero was an anime that came out of nowhere during the spring season. I just watched it, and I get why. It gives you this interesting premise with great characters. The show follows Subaru Natsuki as he's transported to this fantasy world where he learns the hard way that he gets do-overs when he dies. In the process, he meets the half-elf Amelia, and that's pretty much how the show starts. Subaru's ability is pretty much a video game checkpoint. When he dies, he goes back to a certain point with all the memories from his past life. It's the single aspect and how it's executed what makes this show so great. The show finds a way to stretch this idea in so many different directions that whenever Subaru respawns, there really is no way of knowing what will happen in his new life. Every time he comes back, he will try to avoid what caused his death or the deaths of others, but it's a lot of trial and error that have many different results. From new events to seeing different sides of characters, it's the fact that it's always changing that keeps this anime fresh. The fact that you don't know what's going to happen in one episode or in the one after that is what keeps this show so interesting and exciting. ReZero manages to do this since episode 1 and keeps this great pacing for a while. It hooked me and took me on an emotional roller coaster, and it was freaking awesome. Let's talk a little more about Subaru, who's our main character. He's a dumb nice guy, and I know I described many other characters, but what makes Subaru stand out is that he's very relatable. He's this weak human in this dangerous world. He's very much us, the viewer, and he even compares things in this new world to stuff from his old world like video games, and doing this makes it that we, the viewer, connect to Subaru a lot more and care for him very quickly. I didn't want to see these horrible things happen to him. I was always rooting for him as I kept watching the anime. He knows that he's weak, but he wants to help out the other characters in any way he can. Subaru is a very likable character, so it hurts like hell when you see horrible things happen to him. He's dumb, but it never gets old, especially as the anime progresses, because he tries to avoid the tragedies which take many tries. Seeing him fail over and over again, slowly leading to him figuring out how to succeed and avoid the awful events is incredibly gratifying. When it comes to the others, they're all super charismatic. Some characters appear way more than others, but that doesn't really matter. When they're on screen, I quickly learn their charm and personality. ReZero gives every character enough time to make a great impression on the viewer. It made me want to see more of this cast as the show progresses because they are so likable. Making the whole cast likable makes it that when a horrible thing happens, it hurts way more because you care for them, and I know I'm not explaining much for the others, but it's because I want you to learn more about them yourself, and what you learn may surprise you. I want to quickly go back to Subaru's power. If you're someone who plays video games, it puts checkpoints in a different light. Characters die and come back, and we usually don't care about this. We just continue playing without a second thought, but what about from the point of view of the character? When playing a game, we don't care because it doesn't affect us, but on the other hand, the characters in the game feel the pain of dying. When we play, we just try to avoid what killed us last time just so we can progress. But for the characters, in this case Subaru, it makes more sense. He knows dying is horrible, and that's why he tries so hard to avoid it in his new life. It makes me look at deaths in games a little different now, and it's to me really cool how it gets this one aspect of video games and how it uses it in a really cool way. This is an anime, so how does it look? ReZero is freaking pretty to look at. It was made by Studio White Fox, who made Akame ga Kill and Devil's a Part-Timer. Both are also fantasy, but you never really see much of the setting for one, or the other has a really dim, darker color. ReZero has this really beautiful detailed locations that have striking colors, which are seen a lot, but also work when the colors become darker to match the more serious moments and tone. So based on this, you may be thinking ReZero is awesome and it has no flaws. It's awesome, but it has a couple of issues that can't be glossed over. My main one is about the characters. A few characters just disappear from the show. And I mean, they're there, but all of a sudden they just don't appear for many episodes. It's very jarring and it sucks, especially if it's one of your favorite characters. This hasn't happened to all of them, but it's just really, you just can't not notice this. It just, all of a sudden, some characters just don't appear for many episodes, and it's really weird. I'm not gonna say who stops appearing. My other problem is the pacing in the middle. ReZero has this great momentum. It carries from episode 1 to 11, but after that it drops a little bit. It slows down and it's incredibly noticeable. Like, there is a reason for it. It's to set up the next half of the anime, which is a new arc with new characters. So it has to slow down because of that, but it's still really noticeable and just kind of kills this really awesome pacing that the first half had. It doesn't last long enough though where it'll make you want to drop the anime. It lasts just enough where you get new characters and a new setting, and you know that the second half is going to be very different, that it ends and the pacing immediately picks back up and gives you a new story and gives you something that's really different from the last, and it's still just as entertaining. So it's nothing too bad, but you still very much notice it. Overall, ReZero, starting life in another world, is pretty awesome, and yes, that's the only time I'm using the full title in this video. With a great story and characters, really beautiful visuals, it's one that I think is high priority. It has a few issues, but it doesn't really ruin up the overall experience. It's all then wrapped up in a very satisfying way. There is more story to tell in ReZero, but the anime gives you such a satisfying ending. Like, there's no cliffhanger. It ends in such a great way. You don't see that often in animes based on like novels and mangas. Like, it actually feels like, oh, this is an ending toward the season, and it feels pretty complete, which is really nice. Check out ReZero, it's super good! Yo guys, Enzo here telling you, if you hit the end of the video, I would appreciate that. What are your thoughts on ReZero? Tell me below in the comments. And also, if you guys like this type of video, you might want to see on the channel. I make videos about anime all the time. And if you want to see another video, check out my top 5 anime miniseries. I think it's pretty good. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.